from one of the teams that they are good to go, and we're moving on to game one here of the third place match on the North American Finals. Here we go. Off to Shards.
They're ready.
In the frigid expanse of the North Atlantic, between Iceland and Scandinavia, lie the Faroe Islands. Beautiful and isolated, these windswept shores will shortly be the setting of a desperate struggle between opposing navies. This is Shards. Shards is a 42 by 42 kilometer domination-style map with 3 cap points running on a line from southwest to northeast. The A cap is in the bottom left, B is in the center, and C is in the top right. Not only has Shards never been played in King of the Sea before, it was altered to this configuration merely days before the event began. In the lower left and upper right corners of the map, the A and C caps pose quandaries for both teams. Half of each cap circle is wide open, while the other half is constricted by islands that form a narrow set of channels. How they choose to handle these corner caps forms the backbone of a team's strategy for dealing with Shards. Some teams will opt to try and capture from the side most open to them, forcing the enemy to attack through the channels. Others will opt to push through the channels quickly and bag the cap themselves, then use the open side of the cap for defense. At the center of all this chaos lies Cap B with its own maddening configuration. Islands punctuate the circular cap like a set of lawnmower blades, centered around another low-topped island smack in the middle of the cap. The island cover seems likely to encourage a lot of camping cruisers and hide-and-seek destroyers. Teams have not had a lot of time to prepare for Shards, and there are many questions remaining about just how it will play. Early indications are that despite teams spawning in the southwest and northeast, play will actually center along a northeast to southwest axis as the corner caps fall under their control. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Shards.
All right, welcome to Shards as we start in here on game 1. Looking over the SCCC side of the map, we brought double Yamato, double Worcester, double Henri, an extra Stalingrad for good measure, and a lone gearing that is Freiss.
Looking at the RF side, we have a Yamato, a Montana, a Des Moines, a Worcester, 2 Henris, a Gearing, and a Grosavoy. So they have 2 DDs.
Indeed, we've seen RF work the double DD composition very well throughout the tournament, and one of the things we mentioned earlier, you see it here, SCCC opting for Hakuryu rather than Midway.
That is very interesting. We had just talked about this.
Indeed.
And you had said that there were certain maps that they liked it on.
Indeed. So we'll see. I honestly cannot remember if they do this every map, but I know that they definitely have been known to play Hakuryu. So we see here, of course, early planes going across the map. Mush has got some rocket planes heading across B, just trying to get some scouting in. The SCCC forces headed down over to A, scouted also by Captain Badger's rocket planes early, as those get recalled to the carrier now.
RF is going for a quick setup on B. They have a Gearing smoking up a Worcester, like right on that island. It's going to be interesting. It looks like they're ready to fight for B. Do you have any ships that are setting up opposite of them?
Not yet. It looked as if Feifei's Stalingrad might decide that it wanted to push in early and set up on the cap here, but it didn't look that way now. Stalingrad turning south now, as Wiz HD took a pretty solid hit there in his Montana, down about 20,000 HP very quickly.
Yes, he did. Now he's already on the way to turning out. Looking at RF, they have sent the Montana and the Henri Ossium by themselves. They're kind of over here by themselves, heading towards the A side. Okay. The rest of their fleet is contrary to B and C.
Indeed. Well, and what we see, looks like that's gonna be the kiting force here. SCCC pushing a Yamato double Worcester and a Gearing towards C. So they will probably cap that and then try to push in that general direction as the Yamato and double Henri, that's Fuzzy Collie, Jake, and Fuzzballs headed up over here over the 9 line, look as if they will be the force tasked with holding back the RF forces that might want to try to push down this side of the map.
So, quick question, where is your destroyer?
The Gearing is leading the charge into A. Price is just about crossing into H4 now, is about to come into that little channel on the extreme southeastern edge of the A cap. And he'll be on that cap momentarily, as obviously the destroyer advantage for RF means that they bag C very quickly.
They've bagged C, and it looks like they're moving into B as well. And look, they're getting this uncontested right now. There are torpedoes coming across.
Just fixing to mention those. I was wondering if those have been spotted. Are those in danger of hitting anything valuable?
They are not going to hit anything.
Okay.
They were spotted.
Okay. Well, RF bags a quick cap here, working on a B cap. I don't think there's anything that SCCC is going to be able to do about the B cap. They will fall behind on caps very quickly here. So it's going to be on them to make a push, make a play, and change the status quo, as they will shortly be behind on points. Well, they already are behind on points, but it's going to start to get worse here momentarily.
So Get Wrecked and his Worcester is sitting behind that B island that we talked about, and he is just you know, spamming HE at Revenross.
Indeed.
Honestly, he is the only thing that is spotted in any danger, besides the Henri and the Yamato that just were spotted right now.
Well, Revenross is set up on this island here along the bottom center of the map. VIII Stalingrad is right to his port side. If VIII just ate a torpedo amidships that knocked out his engine, he's going to have to DCP that as the HE bomb strike comes in. Actually, no. His engine is continued. He's flooding and his engine is out. He's waiting for the dive bomber strike to conclude before he decides to try and repair.
Do you know what spotted Saints fan?
I do not. Where, it must have been planes. He was spotted briefly. Oh, wow. That was about a 15,000 point HE damage hit on the Stalingrad there. VIII down about half health here very quickly.
Yeah, VIII he's out in the open and the HE's coming in. He might be in trouble here.
And they're going to have to pull him back. I mean, I'm sure that was already the plan. But he's got Yamato shells coming in. Those are going to fall astern. But the Worcester spam will continue as long as he's spotted. He's got an island in front of him. He'll probably have to go up there and snuggle up to it and try to get some cover.
So while VIII's in trouble, WizHD, the Montana for RF, has been under consistent CV pressure.
I see this.
He is down to almost half health already. And that is with a Des Moines within close proximity.
Now, was that with the torpedoes or the dive bombers?
That looked to be dive bombers.
Interesting. That's the AP bombs off Mushishikuryu. Well, SCCC now kind of reorienting themselves now that they've bagged a cap. Down about 100 points here. 5 minutes gone. It looked as if Freiss might be moving to the center of the map to try and make a play, but he veered quickly. They've managed to get VIII's Stalingrad behind the island and get VIII some fighter cover. As the Captain Badger's got the torpedo bombers out, he'll probably settle for a strike on the Yamato, I'm guessing. Yeah, looks like it's coming in now.
So looking at the situation on the map right now, RF has pretty decent control of B right now. Doesn't look like SCCC is pushing that way hard yet, but it does look like they are making a play for C.
Well, they have, I don't know, it's possible, right? Like, you got the double Henri and the Yamato. They have the ability to make a play for C. Saints fan is spotted now by the torpedo bombers, so they can take shots at him. I'm sure these Henris, ooh, that was a solid hit. I think they've probably, at least one of them had his reload booster going. It looks like Jake's popped his reload booster. Yeah, he definitely has. As they try to put some damage, ooh, they're putting solid damage into Saints fan's Grozavoy now.
Yeah, Saints fan is taking a lot of damage.
And I guess that's kind of, with the position that we see RF taking, the Henri way up north, the Yamato backing kind of in the middle of the map, they have the ability to take this cap if they want, but can they hold it? I'm not sure. It would distract the carrier planes, I think.
Yeah, Saints fan took about 15,000 damage in that exchange. But you know, it's going to be interesting to see if he sticks around any longer. He's leaving this smoke now, but those planes are still right above him.
Yep, there's a fighter squadron over him, continuing to spot him. He's below half health, but definitely having to run. More shells coming in.
Another solid hit.
Indeed, another solid hit, down to about a third of his HP. Torpedo bombers continue to circle overhead and look for an opening. They might yet try to get a torpedo drop on him.
So he's without smoke, and he is behind this island now. So he's safe from those ships, but the CV is still circling him, keeping him spotted.
Well, we definitely called it right. Badger's responding to this push with his planes as best he can. Mush taking those torpedo bombers off now. Now that they have no shots on Saints fan, they're free to pull those bombers off. It looks like he's going to make a run on Legacy Elite's Henri way up on the A line.
Fuzzy Collie is down to 16,000. He is taking a lot of damage, and there are battleship shells inbound. They do miss.
Indeed. I'm a little surprised to see this push happening. Not because SCCC wasn't set for it, just because I would have expected RF to keep enough force up here to discourage it. But that does not seem to have been the case.
Yeah. There are torpedoes inbound on Legacy. He's going to take both of them. He is currently... It does not look like he's flooding. But they are pulling back. So the Grozavoy, the Henri, the Yamato have all left control of C to SCCC's push.
Well, we're going to have to see if they can pull it off, right? Because capping with 2 cruisers and a battleship is not the fastest thing in the world, especially when you've got a carrier continuing to harass you, and more ships that will still have shots on you. They're bringing the HE bombs in for Fuzzy Collie's Henri here as well.
Let's take a look.
See if they might be able to get more damage on him. We saw a really solid strike against the Stalingrad earlier. Not a ton out of that one, about 5k or so. Ooh,
Torpedoes are inbound.
Fuzzballs is going to dodge those. It's like, yep, those aren't going to go anywhere.
So RF is spending a lot of time trying to get rid of that Henri, which is the right call. But Fuzzballs now, he's going to be in the cap, and he's going to be spotted, and he's going to have to take a lot of damage.
Yep, they're going to focus fire him down, or at least focus fire on him just so that they can prevent the cap if they can. Jake now getting into the northern end of the cap as well. This push for SCCC is kind of a big deal in the sense that they're about 250 points down as we approach the halfway mark of the match. They need to bag a kill, or they need to be getting these points off of a cap. I think in the end it's going to cost them Fuzzy Collie.
Fuzzy Collie is down.
Yeah, he's very low there. He'll be off the board the next couple of things that tag him.
1100 HP.
1100 HP, and we know his heal is down. He was using it just a few minutes ago.
Shells inbound from
and here come the rockets. He'll be out.
120 HP.
There he goes. First blood goes to Rogue Fleet here on Shards.
But while that was happening, they did
indeed
end up bagging the cap.
It costs SCCC a ship, but they do bag the C cap. Trick is that's not quite enough. They've let the lead get away from them far enough that they still need a kill, or they need to stop the points coming in off of the B cap. Fryce is about to do just that. He's about to reverse into the extreme bottom edge of B at the southeast corner.
So for RF, both destroyers are within close proximity of B, and the radar has just been popped.
Well, and both of the SCCC Woosters are headed in that direction. That's Dan's Legs and SFNL. The Kuryu Torp's also going in on that direction. A squadron going to go have a look-see and see if he can spot one of those destroyers. They know the Wooster is there, of course, but they don't know where the destroyers are exactly.
So, interestingly enough, both destroyers are in the same grid square.
Now, something that's interesting, like SCCC, that island that who's your Wooster over there that's set up? That's Get Wrecked.
Get Wrecked.
So that island that he snuggled up to at the beginning of the match, SCCC could put a Wooster on the south side of that island. Oh my goodness. Fuzzballs just ate gearing torps.
Oh, the Henri just ate.
Oh my goodness, what a fantastic torpedo strike.
And it looks like Jake from State Farm might eat these torps that were actually meant for Fuzzballs.
It does indeed. He's going to take both of them astern. That's going to leave Jake very low as the midway comes in with torps from the opposite side.
There's Yamato shells inbound. Another torp.
Jake's going to be either dead or very low by the end of this exchange.
The DDs have smoked up and are shooting him as well. So RF is doing a great job of focusing fire on low health targets.
Well, they started off down HP because of their extra destroyer, but they've gotten great work out of the torpedoes. And now the RF push at C has simply evaporated. RF within 90 seconds of winning here on Shards in Game 1.
So RF is focusing down Feifei, the Stalingrad. He's in the open. They have a Montana, Des Moines, Henri, rocket plane. I mean, pretty much everything is on Feifei right now.
Well, Golden Grams Yamato is also very low. I mean, he's hiding on the back of the map, but one of these ships could possibly get a shot on him. I don't know. Who's Yamato back here? That's Revan Ross's Yamato. Oh, there goes Faye. That's the game. Well, no, I'm lying. I apologize. Because RF is not ticking up points.
Yeah, they have given up control, and they lost their Yamato.
Yep.
So Golden Grams went down. But do you think the ship count is going to be too much to overcome?
It will be in the end, right? SCCC is going to make a game of this. I just can't imagine a scenario under which Rogue Fleet loses this game at this point. It's possible. Anything is possible, but it would be very, very tough. Especially since, exactly as we see now, SCCC has nothing to cover the C cap, and one of the Rogue Fleet destroyers is back over there. Oh no, that's Legacy Elite's Henri.
That's actually the Henri.
That's the Henri is back in there. So Mush bringing in AP bombers like this might end up going well for SCCC. Let's see how the drop goes.
So take a look. Legacy Elite.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Solid hit there, pushing Legacy down to about 7,000 HP. As the Wooster spam starts from the south, that's Dan's Legs. Shells going over the island. They might actually kill Legacy. If they can kill him and retain control of this cap, that is a huge play for SCCC.
One bomber left.
One lone bomber.
One guy.
Nope. Miss falls astern. Legacy still healing now. Inching back up towards 10,000 HP, and now they have no eyes on him.
He is getting as close to that island as possible. He is trying to cap and snuggle.
Well, let's see what's the next strike that Mush is going to bring out here. I don't see planes coming off his deck just yet.
RF is focusing down the Yamato who's in the middle of the map.
Revan Ross's Yamato very low now. If he dies, that will once again push Rogue Fleet to the cusp of victory as they bag C. Torpedo Strike now looking for legacies on Re. I don't think SCCC is going to be able to get forces onto that cap quick enough. Even if they kill Legacy, they're going to lose Revan here.
Revan is taking a lot of damage.
Well, he's healing, but he's on fire in 7 places, it seems. I can't see this. He's going to go out. When they kill him, honestly, I think that kill will flip the game at exactly the right moment because they've just hit 940 points. The timing of this is going to be critical.
Torpedoes. That torpedo didn't look like it.
984. 20 seconds now to see if they can bag a kill. They do.
They do get...
Mush bags Legacy in the cap as Fryce and Dan's legs continue to push up the 8 line, trying to bust their way in.
SFNL is moving into B. It's going to be... The big issue here is both destroyers for RF are still healthy and alive.
Right, and we saw the gear. We know the gearing is headed to A, and that's a cap that I don't think SCCC can cover. They don't have anybody left. They're down 3 ships.
Yeah, the gearing is making a beeline straight for A. And they are focusing... RF is focusing down SFNL. And I think might be in trouble. He's
going to try to get cover, but it's going to be close. He's got lots and lots of shells coming in. All right, he's got some island cover now.
But what does he do now?
Honestly, at this point, it's hard to say. See, if it were me, I think rotating himself is possibly the correct answer because RF doesn't have anything in the middle of the map.
So, yeah, so RF is on the flanks, right? RF is trying to take control of A and C. Right. They already have C, and the gearing is headed towards A. But they also know SCCC has nothing down there. I mean, the carrier was spotted, but, there's nothing with guns that can stop.
Exactly. There's nothing that can stop the cap. There we go now. The gearing now on A as Mush gets some AP bombers off the deck. I'm not sure where those are going to go. We're going to have to see what he does with them. Tremendous amount of pain coming in on Fryce now. This is going to hurt. Yep. Takes about 7,000-8,000 there, trying to smoke and preserve his ship as long as he can. RF literally seconds from victory here on Shards in Game 1, and they're going to win because there's no way for these guys to get onto the C cap and stop the points. Game will be over momentarily. They had a chance. They rolled the dice but couldn't quite get in. RF put up the guns and kept him out. I think SCCC played a really solid game. They just waited too long to make a move.
Yeah. Well, and their push at C with the 2 cruisers and the battleship, they didn't have a quote-unquote sneaky cruiser, right?
No.
They had 2 Henris. That we know that they're great at dealing out the damage, but they also take a lot of damage.
Yes.
So they're trying to push 2... I wouldn't say squishy cruisers, but cruisers that are susceptible to damage into that cap to try to cap. With the Yamato, you didn't have anything to really get in there and cap without being seen.
And no smoke.
And no smoke.
And no cover, right?
Yep.
So because SCCC only bringing the 1 destroyer, that limits their options where they want or need to flex that cover.